the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Happy July 4th. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you. And we are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Pauly, we have a football game coming up at the end of the month. Hall of Fame game.
Can't wait.
So
close.
Sneak into vacation.
Yeah.
You come back. We have football ready to go. These numbers are going to move in the next couple of months over the summer months. So our NFL betting guide just came out earlier this week, and we head out here to the Progressive Guest Line to talk about some bets for the upcoming season. As VSiN host Scott Seidenberg joins the program now. You can follow him on X. He is at Scott's On Air. Scott, happy 4th. Thanks for coming on today. How are you?
Good. Happy birthday, America. I'm wearing my USA hockey jersey today to get in the spirit, although I am sweating right now, so I'll take it off
as soon as we're done. Yeah. Good move. Good move, though. I like it to pop on here in a pier like that. I also went a little red, white, and blue today, the best that I could. So fireworks a little bit later on tonight. Look, you have to take a stance like every year with what team that you're going to be super high on, or it's going to be their year, right? I did it last year, obviously, with the Lions. I'm doing it this year with the Rams in the NFC. Your team this year comes out of the AFC, and you are in love, I'm guessing, here with the Buffalo Bills?
I am in love with the Buffalo Bills, and I know people are going to say it's chalky. I'm okay. I'll eat the chalk every day of the week with this Buffalo Bills team. Let's just face it, sooner or later, it's going to be their time. They're too talented of a team to not get over this hump eventually, and this could be the year, guys, because the schedule breaks down in their favor so much. It's one of the easiest schedules in terms of the Vegas win projections, right? I'm sure you guys have talked about the strength of schedule numbers ad nauseum as we prepare for this season. But then you look at the travel situation, and I don't think that's being talked about enough. The Bills only play one game outside of the Eastern time zone. They travel some of the fewest miles out of any team in the NFL. So when we talk about how much wear and tear falls on these players when it comes to travel and rest days, and yeah, we could talk about short weeks and whatnot, but the travel is really the biggest impact, in my opinion, on these players. And the fact that the Bills team has little to no travel this season is a massive benefit for an already weakened schedule. And all of their most difficult games are at home, and that includes week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens, which frankly could decide who's the number 1 seed in the AFC already there in week number 1. So I think this year is the Buffalo Bills year.
So 2 bets here, 1 seed and most wins?
Yes, and they're correlated, obviously. If the Bills have the most wins, they're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. But I think there's a way that you can split them, obviously. They could be the number 1 seed in the AFC if someone like Philadelphia, let's say, winds up with the most wins this year in the NFL.
Yes, excellent. So this is a unique market you were talking about and got our attention. It's offered at Circa. I believe it's also at DK. Fewest points scored. At Circa, Cleveland's plus 310. New Orleans is 5-1, and the Titans are 5-1. State your case and walk us through this one where you think you can get me something with the Colts, and there could be something here. It's 22-1 at Circa. Take it away.
Yeah, I got to shout out my boy Adam Rosenberg, frequent guest of the program here on VSiN, and he was in Vegas this past week, and him and I sat down. We placed this bet at Circa, and we started talking about it, and he brought this to my attention, and I started to dive in, and the more I thought about it, I obviously am not a fan of this quarterback situation here in Indy, whether it's Daniel Jones or an injured Anthony Richardson who turns the ball over more than anybody else. We know that. This is a Colts offense that is going to struggle this year. The offensive line has major concerns. And so I believe that if we're looking down the line of teams, and yeah, you can look at Tyler Shuck and the Saints if you believe that he's going to be the guy to start the year, and that's the projections. But if we go down the line and we want to take a look at a team that we can get good value on, I think it's the Indianapolis Colts. I mentioned the quarterback situation. The offensive line troubles me. The skill position players don't make me don't pose any threats to anybody. I like them under their win total, and I think you can make the case here that they don't have a strong enough offense to put up the points that's going to be needed, not just to win games, but they might wind up with the lowest points in the NFL this year.
Love that angle.
Very good.
Love where your head's at. Okay, you brought up Tyler Shuck. And I will raise my hand. I'm a little guilty here. I did take a flyer on him at 20-1 when the news broke that Derek Carr was not going to be coming back with the Saints. And I thought there was an angle here for him to win that award, although that team does obviously have a chance to be really, really putrid this year. You're going to go in a different direction. You're not going to go quarterback to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who do you like?
Well, first off, we have to acknowledge that this is primarily a quarterback award, right? The quarterbacks have won the past several years. So right off the bat, if you're fading a quarterback, you're already taking a flyer. You're taking a flyer on a long shot here. And I'm going to go down the board. And at 30-1, Colston Loveland, tight end for the Chicago Bears, I think is a tremendous value bet. Granted, he's got the shoulder surgery he's coming off of. He's had limited time in the OTAs, but he's going to be 100% healthy come training camp. And so if you're not going to miss any games, I have no issue betting you in the futures market. And let's just look at the offense that he's going into. Say what you will about Caleb Williams, but Ben Johnson utilizes his tight ends more so than any offensive coordinator or any offensive coach in the NFL. With the Detroit Lions, they ran 12 personnel more than anybody in the league. And look at what he did with the rookie in Sam Laporta a few years ago. If not for record-breaking seasons by quarterbacks, we could have looked at, Sam Laporta to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year that year. Loveland fits into this Ben Johnson offense the way that Laporta fit with the Detroit Lions. And with utilizing two tight end sets, you have Cole Kmet, who's more of an inline block and release type of tight end. Loveland, more of a split out wide run routes as a receiver type of tight end. And that's where the volume is going to come in for Loveland, I think, in this Bears offense. So at 30-1, it's a long shot for a reason, guys, but there are paths for this guy to put up tremendous numbers this season. I'm not saying he's going to break Brock Bowers' record that he had last year, but I'm looking at in between a Bowers and Laporta type season for Colston Loveland in Chicago.
Excellent. Get our guide. It's over 90 pages. Came out earlier this week, and you had a great breakdown for Comeback Player of the Year. You can't believe this price. State your case for McCaffrey.
It makes no sense why he's not the odds-on favorite. Christian McCaffrey is an MVP candidate when he's healthy. Forget about Comeback Player of the Year. Most valuable player. In any year, like last year per se, or a year before that, how many people were betting McCaffrey to be Offensive Player of the Year and McCaffrey to be the MVP? All of a sudden, the guy gets hurt. He's coming off of multiple injuries. He only played 4 games last year, and we forget about how good Christian McCaffrey is. And let's look at this 49ers offense, how much that they are going to need Christian McCaffrey now that Deebo Samuel's out the door. So any time that was split or any, routes or carries that were split between McCaffrey and Deebo a couple of years ago, those all go to Christian McCaffrey. And obviously the 49ers feel very good about him. They traded away their backup running back. They didn't draft a running back in the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft, so they're clearly confident that McCaffrey's making a full recovery here. When healthy, this is one of the most, if not the most dynamic offensive players in the NFL. I feel like I'm talking to you about making a bet on McCaffrey be the Offensive Player of the Year, because that's how strongly I feel about the type of season he's going to have. The fact that he is not the favorite for Comeback Player of the Year makes no sense to me. Dak Prescott is the favorite. If I ask you right now, make a bet, who's going to have the better offensive year, Dak Prescott or Christian McCaffrey? I don't think anybody's picking Dak Prescott. So it's got to be McCaffrey as the favorite in this market.
I'm looking at some of the other players. Oh, boy, here we go again. Well, Hutchinson's plus 250. You can make a case maybe for him. They really put J.J. McCarthy on the board here? Guy's never played. Did we not just go through this with
and Danny Dimes is on the list.
He's plus 850 at DK right now.
That's crazy.
What are we doing here, Scott?
Remember, guys, a couple of years ago, after Joe Flacco won the award, the NFL had to come out and actually reiterate the rules and the standards for voting on this, saying that the AP Comeback Player of the Year award should only go to players that missed time because of illness, physical injury, or other circumstances. And for J.J. McCarthy, you can't. What are you coming back from? You haven't played a game yet.
Right.
You're not coming back from anything. You're debuting. All right, J.J. McCarthy, debut Player of the Year.
Right.
Not Comeback Player of the Year.
Not comeback. I mean, that's crazy to me. We went through that.
What are you showing?
Plus 850 at DK. I'm actually stunned he's on the board.
Yeah, I can't believe Danny Dimes is on there, too. We just went through this with Darnold.
And I see that at 20-1 as well with him. Yeah. Okay, great stuff, Scott. Do you like anything coming up later on tonight in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I was looking at the board. First off, I can't believe that we have night games tonight. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, guys, how on these holidays, how is it not just all-day games in Major League Baseball? It's the 4th of July.
I agree.
But we're going to be watching fireworks tonight. I'm not watching baseball tonight. We're watching fireworks. But I got to continue to fade Lance McCullers of the Astros.
No.
This has been it's been a terrible season, and I know obviously the personal issues that he went through, but something's clearly not right with Lance McCullers Jr. Whether he was not ready to come back this year and he needed more rehab time. I don't necessarily want to back the Dodgers here on this price, but I will be looking at a Dodgers team total or possibly just the over in for both of these teams in this game, because I think McCullers is going to give up runs here.
Very good. You can follow him on X. He is at Scott's on Air. Does a great job hosting here on VSiN. Scott Seidenberg, happy 4th. Enjoy the fireworks later on tonight, and good luck this weekend with the bets as well. Okay, Scott?
Enjoy it, guys. Happy 4th of July. Be safe out there, everyone, please, and enjoy it for sure.
No doubt. Don't pull a JPP here tonight.
No, hang on to your dogs, too.
Well,
that's a big one. It's a great market. Fewest points scored and also most wins. Most wins widely available. At Circa, the Bills are 425. Niners are 9-1. Chiefs plus 620. Eagles 9-1. It's a good market. Baltimore plus 525. And then, go ahead. You were going to say?
Definitely shop around for prices like the number 1 seed overall in the conferences, because you're finding like $1 difference at some books.
Yeah. I think the Giants could be able to score this year. Cleveland, obviously, the favorite, fewest points.
Well, the Giants are
5.
a very low number in that market.
Yep. Second choice. Yep. Tennessee 5-1. Colts 22. Not bad.
Well, how broken is the quarterback situation there? Probably not great.
Yep.
Not a lot of faith. Up next, we'll update live betting numbers in Major League Baseball and discuss the 6 teams in each league to make the playoffs. This is not an easy exercise, but we'll try it coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We have an update in Major League Baseball. A run has been scored by the Seattle Mariners. They lead Pittsburgh 3-0, and Pauly, that run courtesy of a home run, not by Cal Raleigh. He does have one earlier in this game. This time, Randy Arozarena. How hot is this dude?
Yeah, we ran it down yesterday. It's ridiculous. The home runs, the multi-hit games, and that's, 4 of the last 5 he's gone deep. 5 of the last 6. Incredible run.
In-play total here in this game is 6.5.
Yeah,
now,
like Springer. He's hot like Springer.
Very true. The Pirates did, I have to go back and check what happened. The Pirates did load the bases against Brian Wu in the top of the 4th, and they have zilch to show for it whatsoever. The Rays-Twins game is played in the 5th right now, a shutout going between Littell and Paddock. In-play total, jeez. Did that really just happen?
A little belch here?
That's July 4th. Yeah, whatever.
We'll allow it.
In-play total is 5.5. That seems a bit high. We're halfway through the game.
Struck out Frazier, got Bart to ground out to get out of it in the 4th. Yep. And Sabalenka, a lot of guts, a lot of heart. Down 4-1 in the second set, won the next 5 games. She's down 4-1 and rallied and won 6-4. So she moves on in straight sets. Great
Did you
job.
have a bet on her today?
No, I just like her. She's a tiger, ferocious. She's good.
You like her attitude?
Yep. Fiery.
She's a real firecracker.
She's a personality. I like it. Does the TikTok stuff. I know you're big with TikTok.
Oh, I can't get enough of it.
Personality. It's awesome. And I'm sick of the carnage, too. I mean, if she would have gone, again, the 2, the 3, and the 5 are already out in a women's draw after Keys drops today.
Okay, so we'll try to name the 6 teams in the playoffs in the American League and the National League now that we're about halfway through the season. Well, we are. Games played anyway. And we have 3 months to go. In the American League, the top 6 teams right now, Yankees, in no particular order, but Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Tigers, Astros, Mariners. Do you want to make a case for the Rangers? On my list, I put the Rangers, the Angels, or the Red Sox.
I would say Texas number 1. If one team comes out, it's Seattle, and I replace them with Texas at plus 225. So concerns about the offense, but a good rotation. And Angels might make a move. We'll see what they do at the deadline. It's a great story. I think they'll fall back, and I don't trust the Red Sox. And we do this every year with Seattle. You're going to, every game's 3-2.
I know.
So I can't do it. But
let me run
definitely
this by you.
Houston. Definitely Houston. We know Detroit's in. That division's over. My God, it's a 13-game lead. And Blue Jays now minus 350 to make it. And you have to be, I know the schedule you mentioned earlier with these road games coming up, and the 10-game set starts today, but I just think Tampa's going to get it done too.
So these teams have about 75 games left of the season. And Texas is the one team that I looked at as well. They do have, should we be alarmed at this point, Pauly? They have the third most difficult schedule remaining based on teams' SOS that they have on the schedule. For example, they have 9 left against Houston. That's going to set everything.
Yeah.
That will know everything with those 9 games. But they also play 3 games against the following teams: the Tigers, the Phillies, the Mets, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees. When it comes to the bottom feeders of the league, they have 6 left against the A's. That could be absolutely massive. They have 6 left against Cleveland. And then, well, they put the Marlins on here as their easiest opponent. Do we want to adjust our thought process about Miami?
All that stuff could change. There could be fire sales. There could be injuries. One team looks to be a gimme, and turns out they could be playing good ball. Another team could be scuffling in September, and you're lucky you catch them.
Who's on your list for the National League? I only put 4 teams down. We need to come up with 6. I got the Phillies.
Yeah, it's tough. You have to put the Mets in there, I think.
Okay.
I think Cohen will do something at the deadline, and the Mets will get some help. Be nice if they could win this game today. It's 5-4 Yankees. Phillies, definitely. Cubs, Brewers, Dodgers. I'm going to have to go Mets, and then that's tough. Giants are even money to make the playoffs. Can't believe what's going on offensively.
They have 10 left against the Dodgers.
I'm giving up on Atlanta, plus 550. Not a good team. Running out of time. Too many teams to jump. Arizona, can't do it. They could be sellers at the deadline. Reds, good story. Big win today. Abbott's been sensational. And I respect the organization. St. Louis, that one's tough, though, as well. Considering the debacle in Pittsburgh, he got swept and didn't score a run. So maybe these people are right. We've been talking Reds with these previews every year for like 4 years, it seems. Maybe the Reds can get it done. That's going to be a tough call, though. But I'm going to throw out the Padres and say Mets. Boy, the Giants should be able to do this, though. Come on. With that pitching staff, this shouldn't happen offensively. I'll go Mets and Giants. Mets and Giants get it in.
Yeah, I have Phillies, Cubs, Brewers, Dodgers as of right now. Although the Brewers have the second most difficult. Check that. The most difficult schedule remaining in all of Major League Baseball. So maybe it's not going to be a shoe-in for them. I also put the Cardinals down because they have a very easy schedule left. For example, they have 6 against the Rockies. They got 4 against the Pirates. On the list against 6 Marlins, and we'll see 3 against the Nationals, 3 against the A's. I will say that, look, the Padres I put down as a potential team. They have the 5th easiest schedule in all of baseball going forward. And if they can't make it, they have nobody to blame but themselves. I'm looking at it right now. Boy, they have 7 against Colorado left, 3 against the White Sox, 3 against Baltimore. I think the Twins stink. They play them 3 times.
Right.
So I think it's kind of a disaster if they can't make it in the playoffs. And the Mets are probably the other team that you have to say, look, they just had such a good, first 2 months of the season that they built up enough equity with those wins to probably get in there. Because like you, I just want to tap out on the Braves. I was trying to be as patient as possible with this team. They're going to get guys back. I have faith. There's too much talent. They'll correct this. They'll make a run at some point to get back into this thing. Well, when's that run going to come? They have middle of the pack schedule. 6 left against the Cubs, 4 against the Phillies, 6 against the Mets, 3 against the Yankees, the Astros, and the Tigers. So of those upper echelon teams, they play like 6 of them, a bunch of games here to go. And that's a pretty sexy number to look at, but I can't get there with it.
There's a great article up on ESPN.com, trades at the deadline that every team should make.
You have my interest.
It's very good. The Mets get Bautista. And then...
So he would be the setup for Diaz?
Yeah. The Phillies get Clase. Cleveland's out of it. It's been ugly. Yep. How bad was the Philly bullpen? That'd be a great move. The Dodgers or Blue Jays get Lugo. Lugo's been great. Kansas City out of it.
That feels to me like a move the Dodgers will make.
Okay. Cubs/Astros get Sandy.
Does nothing for me.
All right. Cardinals
Would you rather have Lugo or Alcantara?
Yeah, Lugo.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Cardinals get Merrill Kelly.
Don't hate it.
Tigers/Mariners get Suarez from Arizona.
Oh, the Mariners have to make that move happen if possible. Who was the other team, the Tigers?
Yeah, they got the Tigers in there, too.
Oh, if you're Seattle, please, for the love of God, get ahead of other teams and make that happen.
Several contenders in need of an upgrade at third base, including the Cubs and Reds, but the Tigers and Mariners might have the edge in prospect depth to make the deal. Tigers will likely make multiple moves, adding to a lineup which is deep. You have Suarez to hit between Carpenter and Green with a good fit. And then certainly, Seattle needs some offense too, and I would think St. Louis could help by getting Kelly as well. But that's why I think I'm not the only one who thinks this is Arizona could be moving people.
Yeah, okay. Bets that you have tonight, looking at anything here, numbers are moving. You mentioned the Tigers a little bit earlier. They did take like 20, 25 cents today. That number has moved, but I kind of agree with the market in that game.
One prop I like, Mookie Betts' his own McCullers hitting 620 against them. And other than that, I'm in the penalty box. Been rough. Not even close with Mickey Sudo's prop. The aces got me good, and then we couldn't get the over in the Brave game. So, light card coming up tonight, but definitely the Mookie props with the game tonight. And I just think it's too high, though. I just think the Dodgers are too high. I like the Astros.
I'll give you a player prop to maybe consider tonight, and you could look at this in terms of will he score a run, the hits, runs, plus the RBIs. Ramon Laureano has been quietly really, really good in the last 7 days, batting .417 with a home run, 5 doubles, 10 runs scored, and 5 RBIs. That's the O's against the Braves, and Strider's going to go tonight in this game for Atlanta. His K prop is set at 7.5, and it's juiced to the gills way over. So, but Laureano's been really, really good.
Starters have been terrible there for both teams. Brutal. With Atlanta's ERA of 6 and change the last 8. Baltimore, 6 and change the last 11. The $500 trifecta from GBank First Bet and VSiN. Open a GBank Visa Signature credit card in the first 90 days. Deposit and play through $1,000 at First Bet. To trigger the $500 trifecta, you get $200 in cashback rewards on your Visa Signature card. And First Bet will give you a $100 deposit match. VSiN will complete it with a free subscription through August 31st. That's a $200 value. The $500 try from GBank, First Bet, and VSiN. Head to VSiN.com/GBank. One-time promotion. Limited to customers opening a new account. Apply today. Terms and conditions apply. Go get it.
Big weekend in soccer. The meat man, Steve Wyss, will join the program coming up next. We'll go over his best bets as USA plays Mexico on Sunday in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. That's next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Boy, I'm going to call it a really big and a fun soccer match coming up on Sunday night. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. The game is in Houston, or the match is in Houston. USA takes on Mexico. It is the Gold Cup for the CONCACAF. And to talk about it right now, Steve Wyss, the meat man, joins the program. He is on the progressive guest line with the Nordic Football Pod and Because We Win. Steve, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, guys. Really good to see you again. It feels like it's been quite some time. I suppose it has in a way, hasn't it? But yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. I hope you're great yourselves.
Back at you.
Thank you.
Let me run down some of the numbers on this game. We'll go with the three-way numbers. As Mexico is plus 160, USA is plus 220, the draw is plus 185. Pick 'em on the non-three-way, Mexico's minus 140. The total is 2, juice 30 cents to the over. How are you betting this match, Steve?
Well, I think on the actual money line odds, I would be very, very careful because the tie or the draw is very much a possibility here. Wouldn't surprise me if this was 0-0 after 90 minutes at all. So instead, in terms of, I do think Mexico will win the trophy. It'll lift the trophy. I just think they're the better team right now slightly because what is interesting about this Gold Cup is several USA players, important USA players, didn't make the squad for whatever reason, due to injury, due to tiredness, fatigue, or being involved in other competitions. The likes of Christian Pulisic, Anthony Robinson at Fulham, who's a really, really good left back, Weston McKennie and Timothy Weir. So the US are a little bit depleted for this competition. I think Mexico do have the slightly better squad. I also think Mexico have just an edge in defense as well. They only conceded one shot in the quarterfinals against Saudi Arabia and 1 shot on target against Honduras. So this is a defense which is really good. The USA will test them a little bit more, but I think when push comes to shove, Mexico to lift the trophy would be one bet for the game. But my main big play here, definitely under 2.5 goals.
Absolutely. They're so good defensively, only conceded 1 goal as well. I'm with you. It could be cagey and nervy. So to lift the trophy, $1.35, but the bigger play under 2.5 on Sunday.
Definitely,
Very good. Very good, my friend. Saturday, FIFA Club World Cup. Real Madrid against Dortmund. Real Madrid about $1.50. Who do you like here?
Well, this is obviously a big competition going on in the world of soccer right now. It's starting to get a lot of interest because we're in the quarterfinal stage. We've just had a match finish just now. A Brazilian team, Fluminense, are through to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
In the other half of the draw, we've got 2 huge games. We've got PSG against Bayern Munich and then Real Madrid against Borussia Dortmund. And the winners of those matches play against each other in the semi-final. And whoever wins that's probably going to win the competition. The PSG game, I do think PSG will beat Bayern, but that's a more difficult game to bet on. I think Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund is the best option in terms of the Saturday fixtures. And I just think, keep it simple, Real Madrid to win on the money line in 90 minutes at -150. I think there's a big golfing class here. Real Madrid are one of the best teams in Europe who underachieved last season. They've changed their manager and they brought in Xabi Alonso, who won the title in Germany with Leverkusen. So he's very, very familiar with Borussia Dortmund. So this is a great matchup for the Real Madrid manager. And he has got now a much better squad in terms of quality at his disposal. Kylian Mbappe is back fit. He was ill for the group stage. He might not even start the game, but it's a hell of a weapon to bring off the bench if you need him. The Dortmund team hasn't really played that well in the competition. They've only got to this stage because I think they've beaten some fairly poor teams. Real Madrid is a much, much bigger test for them. And they've actually got an important suspension. Job Bellingham, actually the brother of Jude Bellingham. We've been denied a brother matchup here by Job being suspended. So he's been playing really well for Dortmund, probably their best player in the tournament. Big loss. So I just think in this case, keep it simple. Real Madrid on the money line. Don't get involved with handicaps and things like that. They're far better. And they should really beat Borussia Dortmund in 90 minutes quite comfortably, in my personal opinion.
Excellent.
Okay.
Very good. When do you start getting involved in futures now that the Premier League starts August 15th and the lower leagues start August 8th? When are you going to attack that?
Pretty much now, really, because what happens now in the soccer world is the transfer window is open. There's been transfers made already, but it kicks into gear massively the next 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, the transfer window is open till the end of August, but most of the main deals do get done in July, really, or already been involved in June. This is now the time you start to look at the teams. You know who the managers are going to be. You know which teams. I mean, this time last season, this is when everyone was starting to get on Birmingham City, if you remember correctly. They were quite a big price. Yeah, and then they kicked off the season about even money, I think. But you could have get on them about, they were 5 and 6 to 1 around this stage last year. So, it really, the wheels start to go into motion now, guys, as you know. You've got to get involved. And if you snooze, you lose sometimes.
Sure.
You've got to balance it out. Sometimes you've got to get on early. Sometimes you need to wait and see how teams are shaping up.
Do you have any bets in pocket right now? Any futures?
No.
Okay.
The only future I've got at the moment is in the Club World Cup, and that's PSG to win it. And I actually betted on them to win it at half-time in the Champions League final when they were demolishing Inter Milan. So these futures, it's all about timing it right. But, I'll... you follow me on X and I'll probably put a few futures up there if anything catches my eye big time. That you've got to get on early, really.
Very good. So he'll put those out at Meatman Soccer on X. Yep.
You got it. You got it. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The trial was done in December. We've received several tweets on this. In the first 6 months of this year, Man City has already spent $290 million on new players. Am I led to believe that they're expecting a significant penalty in lieu of how much they're spending?
I'm absolutely sick of Manchester City because they seem to be getting away with murder, really, with the rules.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. I mean, they've signed quite well this summer already so far, and where they're actually getting the money from, I'm not really sure. Well, I know where they're getting the actual money from exactly, but how they're allowed to do it in terms of the rules and regulations with financial fair play, I have no idea. There's still nothing come back from these 115 charges or whatever it is. But I've had people come to me and said, Manchester City look really good in the Club World Cup. You need to get on them to win the Premier League next season. There is no way I could possibly touch Manchester City to win the Premier League because there's always the threat potentially of them getting deducted points. I couldn't go near them. Off the field, it's an absolute mess. It's just not fair on the bettors. It's not fair on other teams. And they really do need to get it resolved. Either that they get away with it and they're fully innocent, which would be absolute BS, really. But we need to know one way or the other what the hell the deal is because it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, well said. Hey, we started talking Gold Cup with you in this segment. Let's close there because I want to ask you another question. If you were so strong on the under, and we've had this conversation with you in the past, but if you really like it under 2.5, would you look at playing maybe some exact scores then? Maybe Mexico 1-0, or would you look at a 0-0 draw if the numbers were right, or maybe a 1-1 tie, or even 2-0 Mexico? Would you approach any of those exact scores like that? Yes, I would. The score that really sticks out to me is 1-0 to Mexico. Exactly in 90 minutes. I think that's a great chance of that landing. The last 3 Gold Cup finals have ended 1-0. And Mexico won 2 of those by that exact scoreline. Also head-to-head meetings between USA and Mexico tend to be really low scoring. 6 of the last 7 under 2.5 goals. 6 of the last 7 both teams to score no. So there is a very good chance if Mexico win inside 90 minutes that they win to 0. So 1-0, 2-0 Mexico would be the 2 I would look at. There's a little bit, the 0-0 detector's ringing a little bit, but I do think Mexico have the edge slightly over 90 minutes. This is going to be a tight match, cagey, a lot of fouls, big rivalry, obviously, huge atmosphere. This is in down in Houston. Yep. Probably going to be more Mexicans in the crowd, which might give them a little bit of a boost as well. But 1-0 Mexico is what I would be looking at here, guys. I'm looking at one book right now. They're offering 6-1 on that bet. They're also offering 10-1 on Mexico to win 2-0. Shop around. You might be able to find better than 6-1. But I'm with you. You made a great case, and I think that might be worth a little bit of change there as well. Make sure you follow him on X. As he said, he's going to tweet out some of his futures whenever he lands on those coming up in the summertime. He's at Meat Man Soccer with the Nordic Football Pod, and Because We Win. His name is Steve Wyss, and he was on the Progressive Guest Line. That was great, Steve. Thanks so much for the time. Have a good weekend. No problem. You take care. It was an absolute pleasure again. See you guys soon. Be good. Thank you. There you go. So 3 straight Gold Cups, 1-0. Very good. Doesn't mean anything for this game, but he was making a case to, they allowed 1 shot. That was it. 1 attempt. They've been great defensively. Yeah. We got to fade the PK, though. That's the one. That's a big one. Well, yeah, there's going to be penalties. You got to fade that. But there should be some tomfoolery and skullduggery. Hope that doesn't happen. But you got to fade the own goals, too. Yeah, I'd play no goal score, but that's I echo his sentiments as well. Absolutely ridiculous for bettors and the Premier League and the other fans that they went that whole season and nothing happened, and now it lingers into the next season about what the punishment would be. He's right. Just make a decision. Either they get away with it, which would be so unfortunate, or because they came down on Nottingham Forest and Everton like that. Mm-hmm. The freaking trial was in December. This is lunacy. Right. The Karen Reed thing took 4 weeks. I will say this, right? If they go into the season and they have no announcement or decision, just tell everybody that you're not going to make up your minds until the end of the season next May. That's what you got to do. We need more of these events on TV and more to legally bet on. Do you concur is next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Great moments in history have begun with a question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
And what kind of hair product does Mitch Moss use? But Follow the Money wants to know.
Do you concur? Concur with what, sir? Do you concur?
Pauly, moments ago, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, hit his second home run of the day. He's got 35 on the year. Incredible. Ties Griffey. Yep, they lead the Pirates 4-0. He's plus 950 to win the MVP. Judge is somehow minus 2,100. Those numbers are absolutely out of whack. Do you concur?
I do. Now, Judge is first in average, first in OPS. But if this guy continues to do this, and they can make the playoffs while this Yankee freefall continues.
While playing catcher
That's right. Now, they have a good staff and solid pitching, but if they're winning 4-3, 3-2 every night, and this guy's hitting bombs, and it's 58, 62 home runs or something like that, he can't be 9-1.
Absolutely, under no circumstance. No.
That's a good point, too, about the position he plays.
No question.
The tools of ignorance and the toll it takes on your body.
This is crazy what he's doing.
Yeah.
Wow, good for him. I hate, though, that he's going to be in the home run derby.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Much like my favorite teams when I was younger, I have lost all interest in fireworks. Do you concur?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not unpatriotic. I'm bored. It's the same thing. It's been the same thing for our entire lives.
Yeah, and then it ruined it with the schedule we had for 7 years, too. It was like keeping you up.
Trying to go to bed at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, hear fireworks 7 days a week until 2 a.m.
Yeah, I was lucky, though, because my buddy, my pal Jordan is okay. But the other Beagle that we had, Bailey, was deeply disturbed and bothered by the fireworks.
Whoa.
She hated water, and then on one 4th of July, we were swimming in the pool, and they went off, and she jumped in, that she was so freaked out.
Wow.
So this is like, I believe, the number one day here where they get away. So
I do think it'll get rekindled a little bit now that I have a 1-year-old. He was only a month and a half last year, not even, whatever it was for July 4th. So obviously it never hit home with him.
I never really got into it either because it was, well, it's family. You go out by the lake and you watch the fireworks, what have you, in St. Cloud, Minnesota. But there was what was always the problem, right?
Oh, the mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes would eat
Terrible.
you alive.
Yes.
It's like, get me out of here.
Yep.
Carrying around your stupid blanket and bug spray and all this, and it's
the bug spray.
Yeah.
I swear to God, bug spray does not work.
No, I just sit at home, have a Coke, and listen to Harry Carey and Steve Stone.
All right, more eating contests should be a big deal. They need to be televised and offered at sports books. Do you concur?
Yes. People like this. It's interesting. It's also fascinating to watch about how many you eat and just keep it going with hot dogs. Remember, we had that during COVID. They did a great job where sports were shut down, but competitive eating and Major League Eating did stuff. They were doing Oreo cookies, milk. They were doing all kinds of stuff with challenges, what they were doing. And then that Matt Stoney, who upset Chestnut one year, did the McDonald's challenge and films himself.
That really took off.
And put stuffs on YouTube. People like to do this about bragging rights, and I can eat this. It's kind of like I can have 12 beers without no problem, right?
I want to see like a chicken week, contest televised on TV that we can bet on. Yeah. I want to see how many pancakes. I want to, like, Chestnut whacked down 14.5 burritos. I want to bet on that.
Isn't that one of the biggest events that WIP Radio in Philly does?
Oh, it was absolutely
the wings contest
monster.
Or something? Yeah.
I think they would sell out like the arenas for the big boy clubs there in town.
Yeah. Okay. On the 4th of July, in addition to the hot dogs and burgers, a must is the Bush's baked beans with the Ruffles potato chips. Do you concur?
Sure, I'm in. In fact, we had barbecue the other day to get ready for today. Local spot called Roll and Smoke.
Oh, it's good.
Their beans were some of the best beans I've had and I don't eat beans all the time, but oh my God, they were so good. July 4th, 100% sign me up for the beans.
I miss the beans.
Yeah.
Yep. Beans were good. Got to have that. Strong. Do you agree? You do agree with the text you read yesterday from a longtime odds maker that player props are begging for shenanigans and to be manipulated?
Oh.
You concur?
I concur with that text, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. They really are. Paul, I mean, how many examples do we need here? They're lobbying them out there like, guys, come on. They're available. See how much you can get down on this. I called it kind of a trap yesterday. We need to know the numbers on the Ortiz walk, the balls that he had outside, and we need to know how big those bets were.
What would you do? What do you think should be done?
Okay, so when you go...
You can't put up every player because you get... Specifically, like if it's a big-time player, it's fine. That's no big deal.
Okay.
But if with some of these guys, I couldn't believe there were props on Porter. I had never heard of the guy.
Yep.
And then the fact that someone's give me a $10,000 same-game parlay unders. I mean, but that you could do that.
Yep.
Just the limits. Tell people what the limits are, and you can't pound unders maybe.
Okay. So for example, I will use Circa and the Westgate out here locally, 2 books. When you go there on their app, it doesn't matter what bet. You can punch in the size of bet that you want. You can punch in 10,000 for a win total, for example. At Circa, it'll tell you right now the most you can win on a win total is 5,000. at Westgate, they'll take up to, you can bet to win $100,000 on NFL awards, like Offensive Player of the Year at the Westgate, which is bonkers to me. They'll take it. But apps should put that in there. You can only, like if they're going to make it $200, that's it. Every single person could get down to win $200 on an app or whatever that number might be. But there can't be a VIP program because the shenanigans that we've had involves the VIP players. So that can't be part of it. It's got to be that number's got to be the same for every single person. That's one way I think that you can get around this stuff.
Yeah.
So just let people know what they can get down. And oh, by the way, when you don't do that and you try to get a bet in, here comes the old spin cycle, and it's going to go for 8 minutes, and then, bet's been rejected, and now we move the number on you as well. That's illegal, in my opinion.
Yep. I echo your sentiments earlier. If it comes out that these guys were betting significant amount of money on this I'll be pitch so pissed. The inning to be a hit bet or a ball, come on. I haven't seen it yet. I don't want to be let down. I'm looking forward to it. But in my opinion, based on the hype and the previews and the cast, F1 with Brad Pitt and Barnum cannot miss.
Oh, the people who have gone to the movie said it's a home run.
IMAX?
Yeah.
This should deliver.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be terrific. Yeah.
Barnum's a fantastic actor. I love everything he's in. He's good as a Menendez father in the Netflix show. Menendez brothers, too. Great range, this guy. But
I'm a big believer in Brad Pitt, too.
Yeah, right. Good resume. Strong.
Can I be honest, though? I'm not a big... Oh, God.
You don't like NASCAR?
No, I'm not a big racing movie guy.
Did you like Days of Thunder?
I never watched it.
Okay. Interesting.
And I know, like...
You like Talladega Nights, though.
I know, longtime friends of mine would... I've never told them that before. They would hate me for admitting I never watched it. I have no idea how good it is, or bad.
All right.
Yeah, Talladega Nights was really good the first time I watched it, and then the second time I was like, I don't know what I was thinking there. The Indiana Fever have re-entered the chat with the Liberty, Lynx, Mercury. That's the group of 4 teams that can win the WNBA title. Do you concur?
I do. Concur. Yep. It's impressive last night.
Yeah.
I think says more about the Aces and what they're going through and how bad they are.
Agreed.
I mean, a 4-point move and you just get your asses kicked, and that's no Clark. Horrible spot for the Fever. So horrible. No. It's all-time bad spot.
Sure.
We routed them. I mean, you get after it and celebrate like that, and the short turnaround, and no problem.
The Lakers or Bucks need to sign Bradley Beal if the Suns buy him out.
No.
Okay.
Concur. No way. No.
Is he toast?
Doesn't have much left. Yep.
All right. And let me give you this one then.
I would rather have Lillard.
And wait a year?
Yeah. Well, who knows what? Yeah, I guess I'll take the year off, but there's a chance I could have Lillard. I don't want anything to do with Beal.
All right. Chris Sale has 2,528 career strikeouts. Garrett Cole, next highest behind him among active pitchers, 2,251. If Sale or Cole fall short of 3,000 Ks, we will never see a pitcher get to that number again in our lifetime. Do you concur?
No, I don't. Skeens or someone like that, or Mizorowski can't pitch till 40? 39? Just dominate? Can't be done?
Well, I'm always afraid of the arm injury.
That's true.
Or multiple.
These are big, yes.
And then the way the sport has changed in the last, I don't know, I'm going to ballpark it here, 20 plus years, whatever, where guys just, Robbie Ray threw a complete game last night. That's Haley's comment now.
Is that more of a 6 innings or 6-man rotation type deal?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. Like I'm really afraid that what we saw with Clayton Kershaw the other night might be if it's not Sale or Cole, I don't know the next time it's going to happen. And that was super special in LA the other night.
Mm-hmm. Want to know where the money's really going? Unlike other sources, our splits come straight from Circa and DraftKings, giving you insight into where the sharp action's landing. See the percentage of bets versus percentage of handle on every game across every major sport, helping you make smarter, more informed bets. Get VSiN's exclusive betting splits as little as $9.99 for your first month. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now. VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, Wilbo's going to join the program coming up next from Circa Las Vegas and Stadium Swim. We will discuss the best spot you could ever have your fantasy football draft. That's next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.